One of the things I love in working with you, Justin, is that like play is central to your creative process. Has there been a show that like in space has shifted, like in the space that you were in installing it, has shifted from what, not so much what the client wanted or expected, but like things grew in ways you and your team didn't think it could or didn't think it would. And then what the guest got is a little bit different than what was on paper.
Oh, for sure. I would say most of the time, like,
Yeah.
like we get into rehearsal and kind of what you're getting
Yeah.
at, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think back to when I actually first got started into directing entertainment wise. We were doing a show at a park, and there was this one moment that was going to be built organically around, it's like a lot of theatrics with the percussionists and things like that. And
Mhm.
the next part after that, I'm trying to say this politely, but was not great, was
Mhm.
not cool, like didn't dig it, that kind of thing. And so the park team came in and was like, hey, this other part seems really cool. Why don't you just take that and expand it like 3 times as long, kind of idea,
Mhm.
right? And that just kind of, when that happened, blew my mind to be able to go like, because I came from a world of like, even in the music world and like teaching percussion at college, and there's all these rules and all these no-nos and like things like that.
Mhm.
And this was the first time that it was like, oh, I can do whatever I want. I can make these
Mhm.
guys do backflips over the barrels. Heck yeah, let's go. Let's do this. Like,
Yeah.
and so we literally just played for like 3 days on expanding this concept and just threw everything at the table. What could we do? And so honestly, that's all I needed right there for me
Mhm.
to be like, this is what I want to do with my life. And then
Yeah.
from there, I started my company, and then we started doing our own projects and producing and all that kind of, and here we are today. Right. So,
I love that. I did, because my version of you in my head was the music professor who like did
yeah.
some stuff. I'd never heard that story, and I love that
Oh, I
play is
love
what
that.
pushed you to like
Yes,
make this shift for yourself.
absolutely. I mean,
I love it.
I was heavily in the marching arts world, and with marching bands, drum corps, WGI, all that fun stuff. And there's so many rules and parameters around it. You're still creating. So that's where I've always had this love of creating and like a creative background, playing, if you will.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that story that I just told you, that was like the turning point of like, oh wow, I can do whatever. And then that led to, oh, let's do brew beats. And now let's
Mhm.
go, oh, you got this truck. Let's do a busker jam show on this truck. Let's get in the engine. Let's rip the engine out and let's put a
Yep.
xylophone, like all that fun stuff, right? So here we are.
I mean, Justin, we really did do some crazy stuff
Oh,
at
we did.
Carowinds.
I know.
We really, really
I
did.
love it. I love it. Still some of my fondest memories for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think too that's one of the things that I loved about working with you in my past life was that you allowed me to play, which I really,
Mhm.
really appreciated. So tell me, I'm sure that plenty of entertainment leaders like to play, but they sometimes have to make sure that their maybe park executives or their leaders need to
Yeah.
understand the play. So how do
Yeah.
you kind of how do you code switch your play but not diminish it when you're sharing with executives or folks who might be the decision makers?
That's great. Oh, wow. What a great question. I think too, a little bit of what I find sometimes is there's people that want to play
Mhm.
and really dive into that world and feel like they can't because we are the production company behind it.
Mm,
Or a drumline show. I'm going to pull you into my world of what I think a drumline show would be. And now let's riff off each other. Let's throw ideas
mhm,
back and forth and things like that. Then comes the conversation. So like, it's very much like I said with our creative product where we sit down and we just take all the holds off of it and just what could we do if there was no
mhm,
parameters? And then we go, all right, how can we make it a reality with some of the parameters that you have on your end?
mhm.
As our client, you obviously have parameters. And so I think just keeping that, um, I wrote this down actually because it came to me and I don't want to fail and not say it because it was so good. But anyways, it's something along the lines of I just need to hold the door open long enough for them to be able to walk through with us on that journey, with the
Ooh.
creative journey.